to keep as a means of keeping new music emerging. It has to be empowered any way possible. And live radio and local radio with local programming is an astounding resource for the music community. And I'm sure all of my colleagues, and I've played with a lot of the greatest players alive during my time in this town, and they all would agree that OZ is an indispensable resource.
Folks, you're listening to James Singleton. That was Rex Gregory on saxophone, James Singleton on bass, and that was James holding forth. I guess, James, OZ has been in existence about as long as you've been in the city. You guys kind of both hit New Orleans at the same moment.
Yeah. I was here in 76 or 70, New Year's Eve 77, I believe. And
Gotcha.
I remember them knocking a hole in the ceiling of the bandstand at Tipitina's and just lowering a microphone,
wow.
And broadcasting.
A fortuitous beginning to a great and venerable institution now.
It is,
Love
and
it.
we, the programming is a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It sometimes becomes a debate.
Sure.
But
as it should, as it must.
Very well put. Very well put, James.
Yeah, come on. This is the music. The musicians of this community are broadcast. It's in the air, and this is an astounding resource for the musicians, as I already said. But really, it's such a great constant Greek chorus to our lives. Driving around. That's mainly when I listen, is driving around.
Sure.
And I don't know how many times I'm on my way home from work, and Miss Mockingbird plays some crazy shit that I've never heard, and I have to just pull the car over.
Yeah.
And listen to it. I don't want to get out of my car.
Yes.
And then I call in and say, "What is that?" And she tells me, and I figure it out, and it becomes an influence. So there's certainly a very important dialogue that is well served by community radio, and really can only be served that way.
Boy, we thank you so much, James. Folks, the number to call again, if you're hearing what James is saying, give us a call at 1-877-907-6999. This radio station, in a kind of perpetual dialogue with the musical community here, holding on to the past and breaking out the new stuff, and keeping both past and present in dialogue with each other, as well as the worldwide listening public and our local scene players at all the time. And as we say, for 35 years this has been happening. And I think we're in one of the great phases of this city's musical history. It's a city that has had an unimaginably rich history musically, and we are by no means letting up, and thanks to you guys.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the historical perspective, because OZ is a huge engine for the preservation of the early styles of improvised jazz in this country. And guys like Rex and I, here we are improvising totally freely, atonally, polytonally, and 2 nights from now we'll be playing Jelly Roll Morton's music. We'll be playing, the early styles.
Wow. And OZ embraces the entire bandwidth of this.
Yes, it's beyond category.
Amen. Folks, we're going to hear a little bit more from these guys, but give us a call, 1-877-907-6999. Rex is putting on his tenor, and James is moving toward the mic with his bass. Guys, whenever you're ready, give us a call, folks, 1-877-907-6999. Rex Gregory, James Singleton. Take it away, gentlemen. Yes, indeed. All right. Live in the OZ studios, folks, Rex Gregory on tenor saxophone, James Singleton on bass and pocket trumpet. Extraordinary, gorgeous stuff from this extraordinary duo of Rex and James, two of my favorite musicians in the city, purely improvising here on the radio. Folks, we'll be right back to visit with these guys a little bit more right after we play the music calendar. Stay tuned.
This is the WWOZ Live Wire, your music calendar for Tuesday, March 3rd. The WWOZ Live Wire is brought to you by the New Orleans Advocate, a locally owned newspaper offering home delivery 7 days a week. The all-new Bottom Line has The Truth Brass Band and Action Jackson at 10 p.m. Apple Barrel has Fat Sinatra at 6:30 and the Jack Henson Band at 10:30. Bamboolas presents Vivaz at 4:30 and Dana and the Bone Shakers at 8 p.m. The Blue Nile has Los Pescados, the Yamayayas, and Elvin Youngblood Hart and more at 9. BMC has the Hatchet Boys at 5, Eudora and Deep Soul at 8, and the Adney Effect at 11. Bombay Club has Josh Paxton at 8. Checkpoint Charlie has Jamie Lynn Vessels at 7 and Kristen Ford at 11. Chikiwawa has Trent Pruitt at 5:30 p.m. and the Joe Gelini Trio at 9 p.m. The Circle Bar presents the Laura Dyer Trio at 6 p.m. and Moke Grooves and the Life and Times at 10 p.m. Columns Hotel has Alex McMurray and John Rankin at 8 p.m. DBA has the Treme Brass Band at 9. Dos Eves has Tom Hook and Wendell Brunius at 9. The Dragon's Den has Combi Christ at 10 p.m. Fritzo's Jazz Pub features Tom Fisher and Friends at 9. Gasa Gasa presents Sexy Dex and the Fresh featuring Jelly Bread at 9. Hi-Ho Lounge presents Dragon King and Little Maker at 9. Houston's Restaurant has David Hanson's Garden District Band at 6:45. Howling Wolf has Kyle Kinane at 9 p.m. Irvin Mayfield's Jazz Playhouse has the Jason Weaver Band at 8. Julius Kimbrough's The Prime Example has the Sidemen Plus One Quintet at 8. Kerry Irish Pub has Patrick Cooper at 8. The Little Gem Saloon has John Eubanks and Paula at 5. And the Messy Cookers at 8. Mahogany Jazz Hall has Tony Seville and the Cadillacs at 8. The Maison has Gregory Agit at 6 and the New Orleans Gypsies at 9. The Maple Leaf has the Rebirth Brass Band at 10:30 p.m. Marigny Brasserie has Royal Nelson at 3 and Combination Theory at 8. The Neutral Ground Coffee House has the Bureau at 8 and Mike Liuza at 10. The Old Point Bar has Isla Nola at 8. One Eye Jacks has Helmet at 9. Preservation Hall has the Preservation Hall Stars featuring Shannon Powell at 8. The Rusty Nail has Open Mic Night featuring Jen Howard at 9. Siberia has Led to the Grave, Bud Dwyer, and Six Pack and more at 9. Snug Harbor has Barry Cuda and the Sharks at 8. The Spotted Cat Music Club has Andy Forrest at 4. Michelle Lake and the Little Bighorns at 6. And the Smoking Time Jazz Club at 10. The WWOZ Live Wire is brought to you at the top of each odd hour. For an expanded listing, visit our website, WWOZ.org. To get your gig into the Live Wire music calendar, email events at WWOZ.org. Remember, it's the pledge drive, everybody. Get your pledge in and get out there. Support and enjoy some live, local music.
That's right, folks. Get out there, support, and enjoy some live local music. We've got a lot of pledgers to thank, folks who have called in and pledged their support. First, Ton in Indianapolis called in with a very generous contribution. Says no matter how cold it gets up there in Indy, WWOZ always warms him up. Also want to thank Jane right across the river in Gretna for a very generous contribution. Also Donna in Metairie for also a big generous contribution. And Allison in Scott, Louisiana, who says, Allison says she loves this radio station. Well, we thank all of you very, very much for pledging your support. We've got 6 pledges in. We've got I guess about 16 to go to make our I guess about 19 to go to make our goal of 25 pledges in this edition of Jazz from the French Market. To help us out, we've got 2 of the brightest lights in this community here in the OZ studios. I'm talking about Rex Gregory, the reed player, and James Singleton, known mostly for the bass, but who also plays pocket trumpet and brings all kinds of loops and effects onto his bass. Both of these guys play every conceivable kind of music, and they are extraordinary improvisers, and what a pleasure it has been to have them here in the OZ studios with us this afternoon. We've got them around for a little bit longer. Before we go forward, Rex, I want to congratulate you. You've got a brand new baby, is that right?
Yeah, it is right. Yeah.
Just a couple weeks old, maybe?
Yeah, 11 days.
11 days. That is a brand new baby.
Yeah, I've been counted. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Wow. You're probably getting even less sleep than you normally do, which is probably not much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm getting, both ends of it now. Yeah.
Wow. Well, hats off to you, and thank you for making the time to come here and do this when there's so much special stuff happening at your house.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anything. I love this time of year around OZ. So it's like always people coming in. It's good to be around here. You know what I mean?
A lot of energy. Yeah. Rex, you've been in town, I know, for more than 10 years. I think you came in initially to go to UNO's Jazz Studies program. Is that right?
Yeah, I started there about almost, I guess, coming up on 15 years.
Okay.
The smaller part of 15 years, but I started at UNO and stayed there. I got out. I took the scenic route. I got out a little late,
That's all right.
But Katrina had a little something to do with
Sure.
that. But I came back and planted roots here. Bought a house here now. I'm here to stay.
And I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. And you guys are playing music all the time these days. I know you're two of the busiest people I know. Do you guys have any gigs you want to note over the next night or two?
Thursday night I'm playing with Astral Project.
Is that at Loyola?
It is.
Fantastic.
It is. And so it's an early non-barroom gig for people who avoid such things.
Very good.
But
what time does that happen, James? Do you know?
I neglected to check, but it's early-ish. I'm thinking 8.
Okay.
Possibly earlier. But
I'm sure people can Google their way to find out. Yeah.
Check it out.
That'll be great. Astral Project at Loyola University. That should be a ball.
And Monday, the new series at Gasa Gasa needs to be noted because it's being curated by our friend Jason, and I'm playing there with the great Mike Dillon on vibes and Moose Jackson spoken word.
Fabulous.
So that's going to be a new destination for Monday nights. More of the forward-looking, edgier side of our culture.
Fantastic. That's up on Ferret Street, Gasa Gasa. And it's every Monday, huh? Every Monday going forward.
Yeah, he's been Paul Thibodeau's been doing it for months or maybe even a year, I don't know. He turned it over to Jason, and Jason's creating these combinations, different things. I'm sure it'll be one of the new scenes.
Sounds fantastic. That's this coming Monday night. You're up there with Mike Dillon and Moose Jackson, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Wow. Sounds great. Rex, I know with a brand new baby in the house, you may be forced to stay home a little bit more than usual, but any gigs you want to note?
Man, I'm actually kind of taking a little break right now.
Good for you.
Time to smell the roses
and change some diapers and stuff like that.
So yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah, nothing really to note. I'm at Three Muses with Davey Mooney on Sunday. It's a Lindsay Zaorski tribute band because she actually just had her baby today.
Wow, that's right.
And
congratulations to Lindsay.
Very much congratulations. So we holding it down for her until she comes back, and so we'll be over there at Three Muses. Like James saying, we'll be playing like trad and from 8 to 11.
Sounds great.
Other than that, nothing much to
Just
note.
gonna chill.
Staying home and getting it all worked out.
I'm sure. Well, it's getting ready to be real busy for everybody as we sort of get over into April and French Quarter Fest and what follows from there. You guys get your rest now because not much rest as we get a little further into the spring.
Oh yeah.
Folks, visiting with Rex Gregory and James Singleton. As I say, two of my favorite musicians in the city, absolutely thrilling improvisers among the variety of things they do. They are here lending their time and energy and talent to the cause of our spring fund drive. The number to call is 1-877-907-6999. Rex and James are certainly doing their part, coming in here with their instruments and doing what they do for us live in the OZ studios. We need you to do your part, and that is to give us a call. Again, 1-877-907-6999, and pledge your support to this great radio station. A national treasure is WWOZ, and part of what makes it such a wonderful thing is the presence of talents like these gentlemen before me who come in and do what they do for us in midst of their very busy lives. Guys, you got time to do one more improvisation for us? Sure. We'd love to have it. All right, folks, one more time then. Rex Gregory on clarinet, James Singleton on bass. Gentlemen, take it away. All right. Wow. Live in the OZ studios, that's Rex Gregory on the clarinet, James Singleton on the bass. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by.
We thank you.
It's such a pleasure to hear you. Gentlemen, have a great, great evening. And again, what a pleasure to hear you. Folks, that was Rex Gregory and James Singleton, again, improvising live here in the OZ studios. If you appreciate what they do and the way this radio station works with their work, give us a call and let us keep doing what we do by giving us a call at 1-877-907-6999. 2/3 of the money that propels our operation comes directly from the pockets of our listeners during our biannual fund drive. And so we need to hear from you, folks. This is what keeps us on the air. It's you. This is your time to stand up and be counted, be in that number, become a guardian of the groove, and let everybody know that you are a part of the community that includes improvisers like that and the radio station like this one. Give us a call, folks.
Yeah, that's right. Even if you don't want to call to make a pledge, call and let me know what other radio station creates opportunities for that kind of music to happen live in the studio. I haven't heard of many, and I would probably listen to it if there was. And that's something that that we hold very near and dear to our hearts. Is somewhat of the mission of this station is to continually create this platform for this music to get heard. And if you've been the benefit of hearing some of this great music, whether it be the stuff that we just heard or the stuff from earlier today, I mean, if you've been listening all day, you've heard 5 bands so far, and there'll probably be one every show here as we move throughout the whole drive. And I think that speaks a lot as to where some of the musicians think this station exists. And so if you kind of put yourself in that boat in terms of seeing the importance of this place, then it really becomes a no-brainer. 1-877-907-6999. You heard that phone ringing in the background? That was some beautiful music unto itself. So give us a call, 1-877-907-6999.
So true, folks. There is only one of these. WWOZ 90.7 FM in New Orleans is